Or if you put Joe Burrow can't win on the Cincinnati Bengals, why isn't Jalen Hurts better than Joe Burrow? Open your fucking eyes. That's why. Anybody can make that argument today. It's not a vacuum. That's why in all these offseason lists that all these people shit on. Oh, these people are idiots. No, they're not. Justin Herbert is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts.
Johnny Mac, a lot to talk about here on this team, man. This is an interesting. Is this not an interesting football team? They always keep it interesting.
Always are. I said the only circus tent bigger is Dallas. There's always some bullshit going on with this team, even though they've been so successful now. And when they do lose and they have hiccups, it's just like it is Chicken Little time. The sky is falling. That's what happens when expectations are raised, and it's shocking that they're like everybody else now. And yeah, they might have a bad week, and they might play like shit. The problem is they played like shit on offense for the entire season. But I'm glad people are finally recognizing that. That's a positive from the quarterback standpoint. Because it's easy to blame the coach. It's easy to blame the offensive line to a certain degree. A little bit harder to blame Saquon. But you had this Jalen Hurts wall, to use political terms. You had the blue wall, the red wall. You had a Jalen Hurts wall that everybody would protect this guy at all costs. There's some deficiencies, but people are finally talking about it. I like that.
I feel like, man, you and I have been talking about it for
2 years. God. I've been talking about it for 3 years.
I mean, what the hell? I don't feel like this is new at all here. Anybody who listens to Bird 365 is normally ahead of this shit, man. They know what's coming. They understand that there's issues, that, you win games, but that doesn't mean it's all perfect. All right, John, where we are right now, what do you think? Can I ask you to speculate? And I know you don't like doing that, but I'm going to ask you to do it. Will you speculate for me what you think Jeffrey Lurie thinks of this team? Or maybe that's not the right question. Maybe like where you think he sees as the biggest problem on offense. I know he's going to scapegoat Patullo, but does he believe Patullo is problem number one? Does he believe Nick is problem number one? Does he believe Jalen? Like, I don't know. I think Jeffrey Lurie really likes Jalen Hurts. So I feel like he would scapegoat other people and go another direction before Hurts. Maybe he's right.
Well, he's definitely, I mean, the standpoint of it's easier to scapegoat coaches than to scapegoat players. Sometimes you have to.
Right. Well, let's go away from the scapegoat then. Who do you think he thinks is the number one problem? Forget who he's going to scapegoat. That might be two different answers.
I wish I could tell you from the standpoint of, I think Jeffrey Lurie knows more football than most owners in this league, to say the least. But I still think he doesn't know football to a high level, which is why you don't want to make and by and large, he understands that and gets out of the way, by and large. But from the limited time we do get him, we do know that he believes in certain things. And number one would be that the easiest way to succeed in this league is, and he's right, is a high octane passing offense.
Yeah. Especially consistently, because you see what a run game does, to a team.
Yeah. So he's sort of swallowed that because of the team's success, but I think it's still in his DNA of that belief. But he also knows he can't move on from the quarterback at this stage, nor, again, Afghanistan, do you have an exit plan? Do you see some of the quarterback play here in this league? I mean, where are you going?
Do you think Jalen Hurts is capable of playing the style of offense that offense that you just spoke of, that Jeffrey Lurie wants?
No, I've said this consistently. They are never going to have a high volume passing offense with Jalen Hurts. Never, never, never. That doesn't mean they can't have a week. When I say that, I mean consistent passing offense. Doesn't mean they can't have up weeks. They have had up weeks in this year, where you're going to have more down weeks than up weeks. You have committed to a style of play when you pick any quarterback, from the best to the worst. And that's the goal. I mean, the goal is everybody. Now, I always say when we do these top 25 lists, Ed and I do it in the off season. I always say I don't like mine is best pure football players. I don't like talking about impact because impact is always the quarterback. Every city, whether it's Jalen Hurts or Max Brosmer yesterday,
How
you are
did
the
I
most
use Max Brosmer?
well because it's a great outlier.
Yeah, it is.
No matter how good or how bad you are the most important player on the field for that week in that game for your team. So that's baked into the position. When you pick a quarterback from Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Joe Burrow, DJ Stroud's back, Jalen Hurts, Tua, Justin Fields. What a disaster that was for the Jets this year. I'm just looking at it. Baker Mayfield, his shit show. Trevor Lawrence, kind of good, kind of bad. JJ McCarthy, I think the worst personnel decision in a quarter century, literally. Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, all these teams, Bo Nix, some of the better quarterbacks, but some of the worst quarterbacks as well. They're the most impactful. But the goal is to build around the quarterback you have. That's why I hate the discussion of, well, if you put Jalen Hurts on this team, he would do this. Or if you put Joe Burrow can't win on the Cincinnati Bengals, why isn't Jalen Hurts better than Joe Burrow? Open your fucking eyes. That's why. Anybody can make that argument today. It's not a vacuum. That's why in all these off-season lists that all these people shit on. Oh, these people are idiots. No, they're not. Justin Herbert is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. Doesn't mean the Eagles can't beat the Chargers on Monday night. I'll probably pick the Eagles, even if he plays, because he's not going to be 100%, and he doesn't have his tackles. But if you gave, an NFL decision maker, and some of them are idiots, so I'm not going to say 100%, but the vast majority are going to take the obvious choice. There are some deficiencies that have been there for years and years, and people are finally starting to see them. Not saying it's good or bad, it's just good for the conversation, but that doesn't mean you can't win with him. He's already proven he can win at the highest level. But you're going to win a certain way, and there's going to be some ugly, ugly moments. And it's not going to be aesthetic.
Do you feel like that window has closed, John, because of the how the offensive line has regressed and the running back?
No, I don't think it has regressed because nobody's that good to where they can't get hot at the right time and make a run. If there was that team, yeah, probably the window would be closed, but I don't see that team existing.
I just feel like this style of play clearly needs more variables going in your favor, and it's harder to get them to line up every year.
That part, it's hard to
get it. Obvious, there's no disputing that part.
Sure. It's hard to get it to line up, but really, they've made the playoffs. They may have not clinched, but they're going to be in the playoffs.
They got 8 wins right now, John.
They're going to be in the playoffs.
They're not in the double-digit win column yet.
I'm very comfortable. Obviously, I'm projecting. I'm very comfortable with their schedule saying they're in the playoffs.
I'm not picking on you, but you were comfortable with about the Bears game too.
Well, I mean, yeah, I was. That doesn't mean I'm going to be uncomfortable and say because they gave up 281 rushing yards to the Bears, that's going to be continuous throughout the rest of the season against pretty shitty opponents for the most part. Whether it's 2 or 3, I'm pretty comfortable saying they're going to get the playoffs. And then it becomes a short window. Can you figure it out for 4 games? Because because they're not going to be the number 1 seed. And can they figure it out for 4 games? Now, if I was a betting man, I'm going to say no, they're not. But would it shock me with these? Like, I don't feel good about any of these teams. Like, if you force me and I lean towards, I think the Packers are the best team. But Jordan Love might come up with that shit stain of a game that he's capable of having on a particular Sunday or Saturday in the playoffs or Monday. They play every day now.
Damn NFL.
Dallas is playing well. Come on. They might not even make it. The Rams, you just saw the Rams. If Matthew Stafford isn't taking care of the football, they can lose. There's nobody. Sam Darnold, all the pumpkin people are going to come out. Well, Sam Darnold's going to turn into a pumpkin. Maybe they're right. The AFC's a disaster area. Have you seen some of the Josh Allen passing numbers recently for Buffalo?
Yeah, not good.
I mean, they can't throw the ball. Baltimore and Kansas City were supposed to be the top teams. They both might not even make the playoffs. New England? Yeah, why not? I do like the coach. I do like the young quarterback, but would it really shock you if a second-year quarterback goes out there in the playoffs and lays an egg?
No, wouldn't.
Denver, same thing. They win every game by the skin of their teeth. That doesn't tend to bode
the NFL
well.
collectively sucking is basically the Eagles' biggest opportunity.
Well, it is for me. I can't speak for other people.
No, I agree with you. I mean, look at the league, man.
I mean, that's what I say. Why can't the Eagles are the team that knows how to do it?
The only problem with it is that I don't think their defense is going to be able to hold, and they can't play the offense. They can't right now. They can't move the ball. Like the Rams might have a bad game, but they move the ball.
Well, I would prefer if they got. I think the goal is to get to a credible running game in that 4-game run.
Can they get there?
Well, I don't know. They haven't been able to get there.
Well, you said it going into the Bears game. You're like, if they can't get it going this game, this is just what they are. I mean, come on. That was the perfect team to run against.
Yeah. And they did have a little bit more success when they did run it. I think he was over.
Looked like there were some holes, not a lot. But
he was over 4 yards a carry, which is a big
right.
upgrade. And Jalen had some runs himself that were pretty effective. And I think, as I said, I think those will amp up, certainly when you get into the playoffs. So, I mean, like they're the most proven team with the exception of Kansas City, and Kansas City's on the other side, and they might not even make the playoffs. So from that standpoint, they know how to do it. They know what it looks like, at least the vast majority of players. And the other teams don't. Chicago, first time. Denver, first time. The Rams, just consistently lose in the playoffs eventually. Packers, again, Jordan Love, inconsistency. Packers scare me, though. I've said that from the start, from the day they traded.
Yeah, they could lay an egg, though, in any game, and you've also said that.
So. Yeah. The Packers look like the one team that if they click, I don't think they could beat them. And they already beat them in the regular season. And people will go, yeah, but that's the point of, to your point, which I was on Team Zander with that discussion. I mean, just because you beat somebody
Yeah, in
The
September.
goal, you hear coaches talking, the goal isn't to play your best football in September. It's to play it in, January and February.
Well, that's what I don't want to pick on Jeff when he's not here. I don't like doing that. But he said to me, "You have the college mentality." I'm like, "Is it? Don't you have the college mentality? They beat the Rams, so they're a better team than them." I don't think I had the college mentality there, but whatever.
Well, that's, we were talking about college earlier. So you look, that's the talk. It's like, well, Miami beat Notre Dame in week 1, so they should go to the playoffs when everybody knows Notre Dame's playing better right now. Well, which is the correct answer? Depends what your definition is. Do you want the better team? Then you want Notre Dame. If you just want head to head, then you want Miami. Depends on your conversation. But just because you beat somebody in week 1 doesn't mean they're better
Yeah.
in whatever week we are in college.